Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So we're actually going to be doing a few minor interior modifications to the F80 M3. I always love the little minor details because that's what makes the entire car whole. You know, all the cool stuff like the wheels and all the carbon and stuff, you know, that stuff really stands out, but the really small details are things that I really like to focus on. You know, a lot of people don't even bother doing anything with the engine bay in terms of the dress up, and as you guys know, I've done a lot under there and it looks beautiful, and I just love all the minor touches that most people wouldn't notice, but when I get in the car, when I drive the car, I love seeing those small details. It just makes it my own, and it makes it that much different than every other mineral gray F80 M3 out there. Now, you guys may remember the last interior modification that we did is the GTS center console. I love this thing. It turned out beautiful, but there was a few things that I want to get done. Now, in that video, I actually talked about some interior trim or the dash trim. So up here, we have the stock carbon as well as the other side, the little vent right there. Which is really nice, but for some reason I really like just kind of taking away all the carbon on the interior. We have enough of it on the outside, so kind of deleting it in a way on the interior I think is a really nice touch. Plus, I'm a really big fan of Alcantara with the tri-M stitch. As you can see, we do have it in a lot of areas, and I just wanted to tie some things in, so I reached out to MF Interior, who did a few interior pieces for me, and we're actually having some really cool dash trim made up. It's gonna be really nice, a little bit different, one of one kind of thing. I think a lot of you are gonna like it. It's gonna tie in really nicely with everything else. So I'm just waiting on that. So he's actually working on it currently. So once that's in, we'll install it. I'll show you guys how to do that as well as the final look. But so those two modifications that we're gonna install in this video, not really install, but just kind of put in the car are these on the workbench right here. So I typically don't do floor mats. I just usually leave whatever's in the car and that's it. But on the F80 M3, you don't get any special floor mats. You just get plain black F series, you know, 3 series floor mats. You can get the BMW performance ones, which I'm not a fan of because it has the gray lines, and I don't know, something about them I'm just not really a big fan of. So I was like, you know what? I want to get some character in the car. I have the really nice Recaros in there with the Pepita inserts. So I was like, you know what, let's do something a little bit different and let's try some new floor mats. So I ended up picking these up. These are from a company called P2M, and they're really cool. It's a really cool motorsport looking floor mat. These are about $100 compared to the OEM BMW M Performance ones. They're like $350 or so. And I thought these were cool. Now, I will admit, I'm not a big fan of the badging here. It is metal, so it is nice, and it is riveted on, so there are holes there, so I was thinking about removing it, but you can't. Otherwise, you'll have holes there. You know, I could just take some black vinyl and cover over it if I really wanted to, but to be honest, I'm just gonna leave them. They're only $100, and I figured I'd try them out. And I figured if I don't like them, it's not the end of the world, but I thought it was a cool touch. It kind of goes with the theme of my car, the black and the gray, and I thought it would add a nice little touch on the interior. So we're gonna be installing those. I figured I would show you guys since it's a cool little modification or cool update to the car. And second thing we're actually gonna be installing, if you guys remember, I did the Euro headlight switch, and a lot of people were saying you should do the silver trim that goes around it. I knew I was gonna do it. I ended up placing the order that night, but it took like 3 or 4 weeks to come in from overseas. It took a long time. So here they are. Basically, this goes around the headlight switch on the interior and matches all the other silver trim. So these just simply stick on with some double-sided tape. Really simple. I actually test fitted these to see if it actually fit, and they actually fit really well. They kind of clamp in or click in almost. So I was pretty impressed and pretty happy with that. So simply just peel off the tape, make sure the area is clean, stick them on, and you're good to go. So let's start off with the floor mats because I really wanted to see these things in the car. I'll show you what the stock ones look like, and then we can throw these in. So this is what we got going for stock. Sorry, it's a little dirty. I've been driving the car all week, enjoying it. Just plain, simple black floor mats. Nothing crazy, nothing exciting. And that's all we get. As you can see, the heel here is a little bit worn, so you know, I'm not too upset about it replacing these. In my E46 M3, they did come with some really nice M3 floor mats. Basically, it was this, but it had a nice M3 logo here, which I was going to purchase as well, but I was like, you know what? I don't like flaunting that it's an M3. There's enough M badges and colors all around the car. I don't want to get too crazy. So now if you look in the back here, there's no Velcro, but it does come with them. So you simply just peel it off, stick it where it needs to go. just like the little circles that are on the bottom of the stock floor mats, and then you can place them in. So I'm gonna go ahead and position them correctly, throw it in the car, and I'll let you guys know what it looks like. So just for reference of where to put the actual Velcro, I put these in the car and kind of measured it up on top so I can just simply stick them underneath, but this is where you're looking. You're looking at the second row of squares up, in between the third and second one here, and then same thing over here. I mean, you guys can do this on your own. It's pretty simple, but I figured I would show you. All right, there we go, guys. Really like it. I think it adds a nice little motorsport look. Adds a little bit to the interior of the car without being too much. Blends in nice, but it ties in everything with the color of the car and all that. I found an easier way to actually install the little Velcro pieces. What I ended up doing was just peeling off the backing, sticking the Velcro down on the little circles on the floor, and then I positioned the mat right, and then I pushed the mat down. So put it on the little Velcro circles on the floor first, and then you can put the mat on. So instead of putting it on the mat first, you get what I mean, but it turned out really cool. I think it looks really nice down there. And like I said, it adds a nice little touch with the interior and gives it that motorsport look. All right, so the rears, they don't have the Velcro. It just simply pulls right up and then they go right in. So exactly the same shape and everything. So really nice. We just throw them in, position them right, kind of stick it down, and there you go. All right, so as you can see, just wanted to show you guys so there's no confusion. I put the Velcro down, so now all I'm gonna do is peel off the little white backing. Now we're gonna take our mat, insert the front of it in first. Sorry, this is kind of hard to do one-handed, believe it or not. Get that position where you want it, get the angle right and everything, and then all you gotta do is stick this down and push down so it sticks to the carpet. So that's in a good spot. I gotta bend it over the little slider rail. That looks good. All right, so now I'm just gonna push down on the little Velcro. And there we go, install. All right, so now we're moving on to the headlight switch trim. So as you can see all around the vents, it has the silver. It's got silver over here and everything on the HVAC controls and radio. But the headlight switch, you can actually see a trim should go there. Basically, it's perfect. You know, it actually has the shape of it and everything. So here are the little pieces. Again, it's just double-sided tape, so it's not too confusing. And you kind of just pop it into place. So I got to put the camera down for this, but just peel it off, get into position, and stick it on. Again, make sure this is clean. I wiped this down already, and we should be good to go. And it's going to tie in and look much better. All right, there we go, guys. Plain and simple, doesn't get any easier than that. It fits really nicely. It tucks behind this part of the actual headlight switch, so it tucks underneath, and it looks really good. It fits nice. It kind of, as I mentioned, clips in at the top here, and it fits in that space really, really well. So again, it just kind of ties everything in, ties the silver trim. I'm not a big fan of silver trim, but there's so many parts on this car that to delete it would take a lot of work. So might as well embrace it and make it look a little bit nicer, and you know, might as well. This was only like 12 bucks or so for this, which I guess seems a little expensive for two little pieces of plastic. But to be honest, I think it looks way better, and it ties in with the HVAC controls. As you can see, it's exactly the same color and everything, and just looks really good. So happy with that. All right, so one last thing that I want to get done in this video, I figured I would show you since it's pretty cool, and it's something that I have been doing with the F80 for testing for the AK Motion data vent display. Now, I've done a bunch of videos on that vent gauge. Amazing, amazing. I love that thing. And one of the things that you can control are the exhaust valves. And AK Motion, the owner Alex, has been releasing updates as I've been trying the different updates for the vent gauge. And you know, anytime that I find an issue and he sorts it out, then he sends me the new file and the update, and I load it on the car and I give him my feedback. So the one thing that I was noticing once I got the valves back on the exhaust was that when you start the car, even though that they're programmed to be open, I have them in the open position, they would start open, close, and then open. So I'll show you an example in a second of what that sounded like. A little bit annoying just because if I want the valves open, they should just stay open when I'm starting the car, or vice versa. If they're closed, keep them closed. But it would do that. It would be open as I left it, then would close, and then open after about a second. Just a little bit of an annoyance thing. So I reached out, I was like, hey, is there any way that we can resolve this? He created a new update that actually communicates to the car before it actually starts to leave them open, so it won't do that. So we're actually gonna do an update on the AK Motion data vent display, show you guys how to do that. It's really simple, and then we can wrap the video up. Actually wanna go to support, and then down here on the next gen, you'll see updates and also the updater. You're going to need to download the updater first, which is the program, in order to upload the file to the vent gauge. But the updates are located right here. So you want to click on updates, and then you just scroll down to the latest update. So it'll be the first one right here. So 10.10, that was actually today. And it has an important update. So all you want to do is click download. It's going to download to your computer. You extract the files, and then we can get going and loading it onto the vent gauge. So let me go kind of get things ready in the car, and then I'll show you what to do next. All right, so this is what the updater looks like. We got the cord that's supplied with the data vent display plugged in. So there's a little module that you put behind here that we wired up to the canvas system. Then it comes with this specific wire that you're going to use. So all you do is plug it into the side right there in the little port. And then we're going to take the USB and then plug it right into the computer. All right, so I got it plugged in. Everything is good to go. The vent display is on. You don't need the car on because it's powered through the computer and through the car, so you actually don't need it on or when you plug it in. So now we're just going to go up here, click Browse. Then we're going to look for the new file I just downloaded, which is right here. Open that up. You got to extract these files, and there's two different versions. There's full and street legal. You want the full. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to say loading firmware. So we go into settings right here, click that, and then you can see right there, we're going to click update once it tells us to. So it's going through the whole thing. Right now it says connecting to target, press update in the system settings. So we're going to go over here. We're going to press update, and it's going to blink like crazy. As you can see, that means it's going. Then if we look on the computer, it says erasing, which is a good thing. At first, when I did this a long time ago, the first update, I was like, oh my God. But it's erasing, getting rid of the old file and everything, and then it's going to upload the new one. So this takes a few minutes. So once it's done, I'll update you guys, and then I'll show you a back-to-back comparison of how the car started before the update and then with the new update. All right, guys, so about, I don't know, 3 minutes in, it's starting to program. So again, when you see it erasing, don't sweat. That is normal. That is what's supposed to happen. But now it's just going to do its thing. It'll let it load. And then I'll show you on the actual data vent display of how you can see what update you currently have on the display. So you can check that out and check in the system to see if it updated correctly. So I'm gonna let this run, then I'll show you guys in a sec. All right, guys, update is done. I got everything back in place. So after it's done uploading, the installer just closes and everything. So all you gotta do is wait for that to completely load, and then it'll close on its own. Now, in order to check which update you currently have, you just wanna turn on your car. The vent gauge will turn on. Then we're gonna go over to settings, system, and then up top here you see system info. We're gonna click on that. And the latest update was 1.36.2 or -2, and that's what it is, 1.36, and the 2 is all the way over there. So good to go. So now we should be able to start the car with the valves totally open. They're not going to open and close. So let's go ahead and do a test. Guys, so there you go. As you were able to notice, the valves did not open and close. That is amazing. I'm super thrilled with that. It was always such an annoying little thing that bothered me. Huge shout out to Alex for fixing that quickly. He actually released this a little bit ago, and he already did another update since then. Him and I were talking a few weeks ago, and actually about a month ago now, and he was like, hey, download this. It should be good now. So I can definitely confirm it works. Super happy with that. Now I'm not afraid to cold start the car and have that little flap open and close as it does it. So whatever value or whatever position you leave the valves in when you turn the car off it's gonna stay that position. So if I leave them open, I start it up, it's gonna stay open all the way, never close. Vice versa, if I leave it closed, when I shut the car off, it'll stay closed, or I can open and close it before I start it as well. So really happy with that. Really happy with the progress of the car. I know this video was kind of short and sweet and nothing too crazy, but I'm in the garage doing things to the car, and I figured I would show you guys because I love doing this stuff. So we got some new floor mats. We got the cool little trim on the headlight switch over there, and we updated the data vent display for the exhaust. So also there's a few other updates as well. So it's always good to get the latest software for the vent display. Highly recommend that thing. I always talk about it so much. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm actually going to be starting another video that we got going on over there. So I'm going to show you guys that in another video. But as for this one, we are going to wrap it up here. I'm going to leave a link below for everything that we did in this video. So if anybody's interested in the headlight switch trim, the floor mats, or the data vent display, everything will be linked below. If you guys have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.